Hello and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. Happy Independence Day to all my American friends. It's been a busy year, I'm telling you. It's been really crazy, but we're going to have a great build here. I'm going to use my favorite casting, the 55 Bel Air Gasser, and we're going to make something really cool to celebrate Independence Day. And make sure you check out everybody else who participates in these builds. It's a lot of fun, and try and subscribe to them also. Well, without further ado, go ahead and grab your favorite adult beverage and join in today as we celebrate Independence Day. Let's get started.
It's time to start the autopsy.
Here we've got the gasser and we've drilled it apart. But we're going to use the screwdriver and pop these bad boys open. Here's the body. We still have to file down the posts. We'll get that taken care of. They're a little bit rough, but we'll get them smooth. Here's the base. We're going to do a wheel swap on that. Here's the interior. And here's the glass, and we're going to go ahead and switch that out. Let's continue.
Someone is being exhumed.
Here I'm going to drill out the post, and since this is a main line and a newer car, we're going to use a 5/64 drill bit. Now this is exactly what we need to fit the 2-56 screws. Now make sure you check out the depth of the post so you can not over drill the post, so you don't want to drill it through the car. Make sure you check the front and the back and get a rough idea. Now you can go ahead and mark this with a Sharpie marker so you know exactly how far you need to drill. And you don't want to drill to the very end of the post either, because you don't want the point going through the body of the car. Good stuff here. Now we're going to use my tapping fluid. This is called I'd Tap That. And you only need a little tiny drop on there to go ahead and let your drill bit glide through the drilling process. Now you can get this at my website at diecastgraveyard.com. Now the tapping fluid will allow you to drill the post nice and smooth. It'll keep the heat down on your drill bit. It will also allow the shavings to glide down the flutes of the drill bit in order for it to drill more, drill cleaner, okay? And it'll take away that residue. You just have to make sure that you're checking the post itself so you don't drill too deep, because like I said, you don't want to drill through and drill through your body. Let's speed this up. Just make sure you clean off the drill bit every so often. That way there, you're ensuring that it's not clogging up the drill bit. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. This is how I know I'm providing good content for you. And if you're getting anything out of these videos, please do this. Here we're using the 2-56 tap. And we're using this tap handle that I got from brightvisionwheels.com. Since we've tapped it out, we're going to use these 2-56 screws. We're going to use a small one in the front, which is a 1/8 inch length, and we're going to use the longer one, the 3/16 inch length, in the back of the car. I've got two different kinds of screws here. One is a stainless steel screw, and the other is just a steel screw that's coated in black or black anodized. Now something here, the stainless steel screws, I've got this screwdriver magnetized. So the stainless steel screws are not going to allow you to pick it up with a magnetized screwdriver. Now the black ones are straight steel. So you're going to be able to hold on to that screw with your screwdriver, and it's going to make it easier that you don't drop the darn thing as you're putting the car together. And there's today's tip from your Uncle Paulie. Same thing I was telling you, the black screws can be picked up with a magnet where the stainless steel screws cannot. They just don't have a ferrous signature to them. Even though they're steel, the stainless steel process tends to deaden down or calm down the ferrous properties of the screw. Make sure you put your lids back on, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to knock them over and spill them all over the place. And again, the different lengths are 1/8 inch and 3/16 inch. Now, the screwdriver itself is a Torx screwdriver. It looks like a star on the end. Oop, flip it around. And this is a T5 or a Torx 5. This is the size you need for those screws. Looking good. Now we're going to take the body and we're going to spray it with Tamiya Surface Primer. Get a good coat on there. Make sure it dries for a good 3 or 4 hours before you do anything to it.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Now that we let the white primer dry, there's no reason to spray more white over the top of it. So what I did is I applied a light coat of my Diecast Graveyard 2K Clear. And this is something you can also get at my website at diecastgraveyard.com. Now we're going to wet it down with water, and we're going to put in the decals that I made for this. Here's the design layout I come up with. And I printed these out with my iColor 560, a true white toner printer. Now, if you're interested in learning how to make these decals and get yourself one of these printers, just give me a holler in the comments and I'll get back a hold of you. If you want to take your hobby to the next level, this is the way to do it. Now, there are printers that are better, but they're also more expensive. So if you're doing this just for your hobby, this printer is perfect. Now, look how nice that looks. That is absolutely incredible. Now, on the roof of the car, I've got this design that I got off the internet. And basically, it's George Washington and his troops during the Revolutionary War. There we go. Oop, upside down. Make sure you put enough fluid down there on your surface, because that'll allow you to float the decal and get it in place until you're ready to go ahead and squeegee out that excess water. Get out all the wrinkles as best you can. And then you're going to let this set. It's best to let it set overnight. You don't want any water or fluid or anything underneath the decal, because if you go to spray any clear coat over the top of it, it's going to lift on you, okay? And it's going to ruin your paint job. But here I'm going to coat it again with some good coats of my Diecast Graveyard 2K Clear. And again, check that out at diecastgraveyard.com. Here I've got another Patriot design. And that's just going to go on the trunk. Now we'll put the other decal on the side on, but there's no sense in boring you with that. Here we've got all the pieces. After I got the decals on and let it dry properly, I put my Diecast Graveyard 2K Clear on there, and that looks absolutely beautiful. Here I've got the wheels that I got from Sam Ed Wheels, and how patriotic can you get for an Independence Day build? Here's the new glass for the inside, and here's the interior. Let's put everything together and give my creation life. And here's what we started with. A Hot Wheels 55 Chevy Bel Air gasser. This is one of my favorite castings, and I use it quite often. We took the car apart. We evaluated what we had, figured out what we wanted to do. We stripped it down. We did a wheel swap. We put the new decals on there that I did with my iColor 560 printer. And then we put everything together. Once we were all done with it, we got a really nice coat of my Diecast Graveyard 2K Clear. And don't forget, we tapped out and drilled out those holes with my I'd Tap That tapping fluid. It's a great product and you ought to check it out, and it'll last you a long time. So please check it out at diecastgraveyard.com. Now, as I always say, folks, you can do this too. Just start with some simple wheel swaps, some paint jobs, some decals that you can purchase online, and just have a great time doing this. I love this hobby. And here's what we got too. Look at how nice this car looks with the Independence or the red, white, and blue wheels, the Independence Day decals, and the layout of this car. I had an excellent time with this. Now make sure you check out all the other builds by all the other builders. And we'll have a recap video, so make sure you send your glamour shot to me and we'll get you taken care of, okay? Now, Andrew had his Canadian Day build there, my friend Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs, and we're going to do a combined recap video that Andrew's going to put out. So please make sure you check out that there. And also, make sure you subscribe to Andrew's page and all my other friends like Tom at Spork Syndicate, Skip at Crossroad Diecast Speed Shop, Paul Yodelis at Fat Guy Productions. There's so many folks out there. Ron at Somo Diecast. Simple Customs by Eddie Papandrea. Check the channels out. Thank you for joining me today on Diecast Graveyard. We've got a lot more videos coming up in the future, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thank you again for joining me here today. If there's something you'd like to see, put it in the comments. Thank you, and cheers.